Alright guys, what's going on? Today I'm going to be giving you guys some tips and tricks on how to pretty much better yourself. Um, Not pretty much better yourself, but improve as well. Maybe some tips that can help you out. You know, you never know when it comes down to a match. FIFA nowadays, anything can happen. But before I do start, I do want to make a quick disclaimer. Um, I personally don't think, I know I'm not the best person in FIFA. All right. The stuff that I'm gonna be telling you is just telling you coming from experience. I've been playing FIFA since FIFA 2007. So in every single FIFA game, I've always played multiplayer. I picked up a few things here and there. So what I tell you, it doesn't, you don't have to believe what I'm telling you. You could probably be like, man, what the fuck is this guy talking about? But if you really wanna, need some tips and tricks on how to better yourself, then maybe these tips that I have today for you can help you. Alright, so as of right now, I'm just coming in here and I'm gonna pick less pretty much broken players because there are some things that I do want to cover before I head into an actual match. If you guys don't mind. That's out of the way. Let's hop into the practice arena just to cover some of the basics. Now, what I'm gonna be talking about, you guys, if you guys can skip ahead, I'm just gonna be giving you guys the insights before I give you any match information. So, if you guys know this or not, FIFA has changed a lot from when I first started playing. Back in the day, it was actually all about pace. So the meta was to find a really fast person, whether it would be someone like maybe Messi or Tevez or Robinho or Nani, someone really fast and pretty much chip it over the defense, and you could score goals like that all day long. And it was actually really broken. People would score like that endlessly, and I'm not gonna lie, I did my fair share of scoring them cheesy goals. But nowadays in the newer FIFAs, it's hard to do that. It's still possible. Don't get me wrong. But nowadays the defenders, it's actually all about skill. So you can really play deep and make sure that doesn't happen. There's so much going into FIFA nowadays. So it's not no longer more about that meta. It requires a lot of more skill and a lot of more thought, which in my opinion is really good. So remember the disclaimer, I'm not the best in FIFA. I'm not a god. I'm not unbeatable. I'm just trying to give you guys some tips. All right. So FIFA has definitely changed in the past years, and it's come down to a lot of more skill and a lot of more thought and a lot of more patience, especially. All right. So to start things off first, before you want to go into any of the match, it's good to know some skills. Now, what I mean by skills is I don't mean any crazy things like rainbows. I don't mean any fancy step overs. It's good to know some basic knowledge of skills in the game and how they work. So if you're on PS4, you simply want to hold the move around, excuse me, the analog stick, the right stick, and you should be able to do skill moves. Now, however, there's different commands for skill moves. So if you move it around crazy, then you're gonna do crazy skill moves. So the basic skill moves that you wanna know first is just the simple moving the right stick to the left and moving the right stick. I mean, excuse me, to the right and then moving it to the left. Now, this move right here will help you create a lot of spaces, and then sometimes it will even help you. For example, if you're going down any side of any wing side, whether it's down this right hand side or down the left hand side, that move will really help you create some space. Oops, that move will really help you create some space. Whether you're on a one-on-one or looking to create some even more space, and you can help you cross it, make you even beat the man. Now, I use this skill a lot during the day. I'm not gonna lie. It does really create chances. So this move right here, simple, just this simple move right here, it's gonna help you out a lot. All right. Another skill that's important to learn in the game is the L2 button on the PS4. Now, what the L2 does is it pretty much hold on to the ball by using your body, and it's good when, for example, if you pass the ball and you're waiting for somebody, you can hold off, give them that extra minute to get ready, and then you can go ahead and pass it to them. So it's all about that. So L2, you can use your body. That's another really important skill to have. Alrighty, moving on. So in FIFA 19, if you press the analog stick on PS4 again, if you press the right analog stick, you're actually able to dribble it up. All right, and the more you hold it, if you hold it for a long period of time, you can really actually toss it up. Now you start dribbling with your knees, which is a new feature in FIFA 19 actually. The old way to dribble was holding L2 and pressing R1 simultaneously, and you can dribble like that with the feet. But now you can dribble with your knees, and it's a really important skill. So pretty much, here's what I'm gonna give you guys an example. So pretty much, let's say the ball drops down to Florian Thauvin, and you got a defender that you're trying to beat. You can easily accelerate past him and press the analog stick, and actually you go over the defender, and you skip over the challenge, and you're on to accelerating and creating more space for yourself. So it's a really new feature. Another feature is a Ronaldinho move where as soon as you get the ball, you can flick the analog stick up and the ball flies over. And it's pretty much a skill move that everybody knows. But if you don't know, go ahead and try it out, and it should be a move that you will like. It's gonna definitely create some space, but it also depends on your defender. And now, the last thing I'm going to talk to you guys about before we hop into a match is defending wise. So, skill moves, like I said, skill moves are a very essential part of the game. They really help you create space, beat your man. It's all about space in the end. But the defending, it all comes down to what kind of player you're playing up against. The easiest defender to go and dribble past and play against are players that press you really high. So if they get if they have like three people or two people on you, and they're constantly pressuring you, not only are they gonna get tired, but you're able to move the ball quickly and easily counterattack because they're leaving so many spaces open. That's the easiest kind of people. So when they come at you, it's really easy to beat them. Trust me. And I'll show you that in a second. Now, there's other people who actually wait for you. They're not gonna do anything. They're just gonna sit there and wait for you to make a move. Now, when that happens, it's a little bit more difficult because it has you with more time. You got more options, and yes, there is such thing as having too much time. There is such thing as having too many options. You overthink it, and next thing you know, you lose the ball, and that's not what you want to do. You want to keep the ball. So when that happens, let's say as Florian Thauvin right here, I'm going down this right hand side. There's a defender here. Now I can cross it, right, or I can cut it back, give it to the right back, or cut back and play it down the middle, right? So if the defender is waiting for you, you have a lot of options, and in the end, it really comes down to what you prefer and what you think is gonna work best for you, right? Most people just simply cross it or they low cross it. And that's probably your best bet, but you can always either cut inside or cut back inside the other way. There's so many options, but in the end, don't overthink it. If the defender's waiting on you, act fast and don't overthink it. All right. Now that being said, we covered some skills. It's all about accuracy and about FIFA. All right. If you have amazing accuracy, then it's gonna be easy for you to score. I mean not score, but hit the target always, and that's what it's about. So as long as you're able to hit the target, and as long as you're able to make sure that your accuracy is good. You don't wanna hit the ball stupidly hard, or you don't wanna make it too wide where you wanna hit the ball nice in the center and make sure it's all about that. It's all about that power. But in FIFA 19 they did add time finishing. Now I'll get more into that later because that's a little bit more advanced. But as of right now, just make sure you got the skills. Right? You can use your body too. Don't be afraid to use your body. It definitely helps me out a lot. All right. And then another thing would probably be the pressing the R3 button. It really helps you out in tight situations when you got a defender right behind you. And then the last thing, it's gonna be shooting. Make sure your accuracy is nice and crisp. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and exit here, and we're gonna hop into a match. All right. I don't know about you guys, but I'm actually looking forward to FIFA 20. There's a lot of new stuff going into FIFA 20, and not only that, but it's FIFA 20. 20 is always something to look forward to. Make sure you guys grab your copy. That should be a really interesting game. I'm gonna go ahead and say classic match. Now I'm actually gonna use Florian Thauvin team, and that is Olympique Marseille. Excuse me, and then we're just gonna have them face a random French team. Yeah, state rounds would be good. Another thing is important to talk about when you're talking about FIFA is your team and the opposition, All right. So Olympique Marseille is an underdog in France, and as you can see here, their starting formation is a 4-4-2. So it's not the best formation in the game, if you ask me. You can definitely do a lot of more things with a 4-4-2 than any other formation, but overall it's still a really good formation. Don't get me wrong. All right. So as you can see, there's a lot of quality in this Marseille bench, and there's a lot of quality in the starting 11, right? So in the end, choose whichever team you like. There's no really right or wrong answer. Now, let's say I'm playing with a 4-4-2. All right, and let's say I want Sakai to stay back. All right, I want him to stay back, and I want him to make inverted runs inside the pitch. All right. Now, Bunasar, I want him to do the same thing. All right. So this is a cool new feature in FIFA 19 where you're able to control the attitude of players and tell them what to do. It's really, really good. Um, Definitely does help you during matches. Believe me. Don't be scared to mess around with it. Go into kickoff mode, experiment, see what you like. Um, Now I want to play wide. I personally always prefer to play wide. Now they have Florian Thauvin cutting inside because that's what Thauvin always does. In real life, he cuts inside and he scores amazing goals. Thauvin is one of the best right mids in France right now. So we're gonna keep that, alright? But Ocampos, we're gonna have him stay wide, alright? And we're gonna have him get in behind the defense, and we're gonna have him get into the box who crosses when Thauvin comes in. Now, Balotelli and Jermaine. Now, Jermaine is a really good striker, but Balotelli is obviously going to be the big threat here. So I want him to come back on defense, and that's really going to help me out. Another thing would be tactics. Now, you can definitely mess around with the tactics, see what you like, control the adjustment of your team. It's a lot of different things, all right? Let's go with drop back because I don't want to tire the players. If you go to constant pressure, any type of pressure, it's gonna tire players out, and you don't really want that. At least I hate tiring my players. So we're gonna make them drop width, and dropping back is all about that depth. Offensive style, we're gonna keep possession because it's important to keep possession of the ball. We're gonna try and play wide. We're gonna try to have players in the box. We're gonna try to have a lot of players in the corners. We're gonna small it down the free kicks, and that should be it. So knowing your team, knowing the adjustment of your teams, that's really gonna help you out. So right now I've got Ocampos. He's a 77 left mid, but for me, I know Payet can be and also be a left mid. It says here that his positions, he can play a center attacking midfielder and the left mid. Now Payet is also another amazing player, so we're gonna take him out for Ocampos and make sure we get that nice attacking threat. And then Kevin Struman, if you guys don't know who Kevin Struman is, he scored that one really goal. I forgot how long ago it was. He used to play for Roma. He scored a halfway goal in one of the preseason. Absolutely amazing. So that's what we're going to keep for now, alright? Let's go ahead and hop into this match. Now, I usually play on Legendary. So we're going to knock things up a little bit and play on Legendary just so I can show you guys the pressure. And overall, it's going to be more defensive. Next video, if you guys, enjoy this and everything, make sure to let me know down in the comment section whether you enjoy it or not, and I can definitely make another one if it helps you out a lot. Today we'll be covering more defensive since we're playing on Legendary. In the next episode, we'll cover more offensive strategies. Alright guys, let's hop into this. Alrighty, let's hop into this. Let me actually go ahead and take the trainer, guys. Trainer off. Alrighty, let's hop into this. So first thing I want to cover for you guys is the D-pad buttons. If you press down on the D-pad as soon as you start the match, you see these defensive tactics. You got the striker drop back, you got a team press, you got the outside trap, and you got the overload ball side. I personally prefer to have my strikers to drop back. Gives me those extra midfielders. Later on, around the 60th minute or 70th minute, I like to really tell my team to press. Really look forward to having the ball in the last couple of minutes is my preference. Now, same thing with defensive tactics is also attacking tactics. You push up on the D-pad for that. You can get in the box, attacking fullbacks, hug the sideline, and you got an extra striker. So I personally don't like to mess with that. If your players are dropping back too much, go ahead and tell them to get into the box. If you really want to play wide, tell them to hug the sideline or have attacking fullbacks. It's, feel free to mess around with that. That's what FIFA's all about, is messing around. And I honestly don't know how that was not a foul right there. But anyways, yeah, feel free to mess around with the things, with the tactics, see what's comfortable for you. And that's what it's all about, guys. Oh, CPU almost scored on me there. So another thing I want to talk to you guys about is the opposition. So right now I'm playing the CPU, so I really don't have anything to be too worried about. But when you're playing online, right, let's say you choose a team, you have your favorite team, and you're playing against someone like Barcelona. Now Barcelona has an amazing squad full of very dangerous people who can pretty much score at any given time if they're given the space. So, but they do have, obviously, one of the greatest of all time, Lionel Messi. So you don't want to give players like Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, Philippe Coutinho, Ousmane Dembele, you don't want to give players like that any time when it comes to attacking. You want to close them down. Now what I mean by closing down is, I mean really pressure them. Don't give them any space, because I'm telling you guys, the CPU on Legendary, if they have a shot, 10 out of 10, it's going in. If you don't take my word for it, feel free to check it out. But trust me, 10 out of 10, it's going in. So you gotta know who you're coming up against. Not just Barcelona too. Barcelona, I just use Barcelona as an example. But take Juventus. Juventus is also has a lot of attacking talent there. How about that goal from Florian Thauvin, guys? Florian Thauvin is an amazing player, guys. I definitely recommend you guys check out his highlight reels over on YouTube. You'd be surprised. Let's have a look at the goal here. Yeah, that's a nice goal by Florian Thauvin. Now, coming online, you're gonna face a lot of different players. Some players are more experienced than others, and it's gonna show by the possession that they have or the passes they make. Some players are gonna be reckless and give the ball away too many times. So in the end, it's all about who you're coming up against. There's different styles always to play FIFA, because in the end, it comes down to such a skill-based game. It's no longer that broken made of playing it over the top. Now, if you ask me, guys, don't pressure a lot. You obviously do want to pressure. Like I said, you want to close them down when they get into shooting range. But at the same time, don't really tire your players out, because then that'll be bad for your players. And then if they're tired, it's gonna be hard for them to play the same. So right now they're in shooting range, so you want to make sure you close everybody down. Make sure you don't give anybody any space. Because I've come against people who they just sit back. So, for example, let's say I'm Liverpool. Let's say I'm playing against a Liverpool side, and let's say they're Virgil van Dijk. Now, instead of coming towards me and trying to get the ball from me, they run backwards and they try to make sure that any player that's open isn't open. But they just end up giving me more space and more time to have a shot. So you can easily score on them, as long as you have the right accuracy. And that's what I'm talking about when I mean pressure. You don't want to pressure into the challenges. And finishing, guys, it all comes down to experience as well. Finishing is something that requires a lot of skill. I feel like finishing is probably the thing that requires most skill alongside defending. It's pretty much being a poacher and knowing where to put it in the net. Like right there, I saw the goalie come out. I could have skyrocketed it and just blasted it, because obviously when you're that close in front of goal, that's probably the best option. But And in that angle, that was never going to go in if I blasted it. So play it nice and low. 10 out of 10, it's going to go in. Excuse me, 9 out of 10, it's going in. Now, given state, the Rams is, a pretty low-level team compared to Marseille. Marseille have got some really good players. No crazy rated players, but still a steady team. Now, that's a skill I was talking to you guys about earlier, where you can flick it. And that's the other skill I was talking about. Right now, it's not being as effective, but later on, when I get down this right-hand side, you're really going to see its effectiveness. So right there, that's a skill that gave me more space. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about is knowing who's open. So a lot of people that I've faced, they give the ball up carelessly, and that's due to the pressure, and they don't know what to do with it. So FIFA, when it comes down to that situation, it's all about patience. It's all about fighting that man. It's all about having that vision. So really, if you see nobody's open, you gotta be patient, and that's when you use L2 to make sure somebody's open and then give it. You don't want to give the ball away. The last thing you want to do is give the ball away, especially if your opponent knows what they're doing. That's a lovely ball to Tovan. That I got lucky there, actually. My original reaction was to curve it to the left-hand side, because that's probably where Tovan would have been able to hit the target since he has left-footed. But it took a deflection by the goalkeeper, sadly. So if we have another angle here, you'll really get to see. Here we go. I tried to curve it in. It was going in, and it just came off the laces of his boots. But in the end, a goal is a goal, guys. Remember that. No matter how you score a goal, whether it's an own goal, a goal is a goal. So at halftime, guys, I didn't tire my players out at all, so I don't expect anybody to be tired. Let's have a look here. Yeah, nobody's pretty much tired. Everybody's good. Now, if it were different, if I would have told the team to press, if I would have told them to go after the ball, they would have all been exhausted. And that's what it's about. But, like I said, with a team that I'm facing right now, you don't really want to press. You want to let them do the first move, see how it is. Now, if you're playing against a really good team, like via Manchester City, Liverpool, Barcelona, Juve, Atletico Madrid, that's when you want to start your pressing, because you don't want to let them create any chances. Any type of chance with any good team is always going to be dangerous, alright? So that move right there with Dimitri Payet, excuse me. I had too much time there. Like I said, there is such thing as too much time. So I had too many options there. I didn't know what to do, and in the end, it cost me the ball. Ooh, that's a nice cross by the CPU. You gotta be careful with the CPU, because they can really put some great crosses in, by the way. You definitely, every time CPU gets down the right hand side, any kind of side, whether it's the right or left, make sure you close them down, because they can put some really dangerous balls in. It's a CPU, of course, so you can never know how they can score. Look at that, they almost scored at me. I was just pretty much defending. That was never going to go in. I was relaxed there because I knew my players were marking good, and for one, that was never going to go in. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but the CPU is starting to really drop back. Players are really starting to drop back. It's all about thinking fast too. You don't want to linger on the ball for too long. Morgan Santon is a hell of a midfielder, really underrated, but I feel like he still needs to do a lot more work in his game. If you guys haven't seen any of his highlights. CPU defense got kind of liking there. I wanted this to be more defensive display, but it's turning out to be a more attacking display. Four goals, two by the same player. By two of each goals by the same player. If you guys do hear any train noise, I apologize. I do live really close to a train yard, so trains are always a common thing where I live. Now I see Tovan coming that run, so that's where I'm gonna chip it, give him that extra space. That's where I'm using L2 here, trying to find me some space, but defender did good there. That's when L2 comes in handy there, especially down his right hand side. Also, another thing is try to be unpredictable. Don't go for the same technique again and again, because then you're going to be able to read the opponent's going to be able to read you like an easy children's book. In terms of calling out your goalkeeper, don't always do it. Like if it's a 1v1 situation, don't call out your goalkeeper, because chances are the pressure is gonna get to them, and 8 out of 10 times they make it, and then the other times they end up missing it. If it's just a situation where they're faster than you, they're faster than your defender, and they go ahead of you, you can go ahead and call your goalkeeper out if you know he can get to it. I don't know what I was doing there. I thought it was Ronaldo for a second. CPU's thinking. When the CPU starts to think, that's when you know it's bad. Luckily, I was able to cut it off there. So now we've got a lot of options. My best bet is to give it to Tovan on his right-hand side. Look at Tovan go. Tovan is such a good player. I got a lot of options here. I'm going to try to play it back so you can have a shot. It's all about thinking fast, guys. Thinking fast. I cannot express that enough. You got to think fast. Lightning fast reactions. CPU looking to play wide, so that's when you come over here and you mark them. Force them to do. If they want to play in the center, force them to play wide. If they want to play wide, force them to go down the center. Make it hard for them. I'm actually going to put Kevin Struman on, guys. Curious to see how he is. Kevin Struman was a really good player in FIFA and in real life. Back in FIFA 15, I believe. He was like rated 84, 86. He was really good, but you know, age comes along and plays a toll on you. Another thing is don't panic. If you see that there's a lot of people pressuring you, do not panic, because if you panic, 10 out of 10 you're going to lose the ball. As you can see there, instead of going wide, I cut inside. I'm gonna shoot it from here. Oh. Man, how close was that? Alright, the referee should blow the whistle anytime here. Alright, hope you never know. Like I said, disclaimer, I'm not a god at FIFA. I'm not a professional FIFA player, but I have been playing this for a long time, so I do know what I'm talking about. If you guys do want any more episodes, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to make some. Depending on the feedback that I get, I'll make another one. I do have a lot of more stuff that I gotta cover with you guys to make you guys into the ultimate FIFA player. So if you guys do want more stuff, just let me know. Alright.